Hope brings you home.
Hope brings you on the radio.
So it's a down payment assistance program. It's a grant, but they got enough money. We assume for about 1,800 home families. But it's the absolute best down payment assistance program out there.
Is it really?
Yeah, in the sense that the rates they're actually lower than FHA and conventional, and they're actually 2 times lower than any other down payment assistance program. So this program will actually can get you into a home with truly no money down and without asking the seller to contribute to the down payment, which in this market is great because it's a seller's market. And so if you put in an offer with us, you want the seller to contribute, it's going to make your chances to get that home less.
Okay. That sounds interesting. I heard her talk about it this morning for the first time. I heard Monique on the radio station on 88.1.
She had mentioned it this morning. Yeah, it's a great program. It's the best that we've seen in quite some time. And we hope that it'll be around at least to the end of the year, because prices are going up very quickly.
Yeah, and they were saying, I didn't catch everything, but they were talking about it went up from 1% to 3% within a month, and usually it takes 12 months or 6 months, or I'm not a realtor, so I don't know. But I was like, okay, well, okay.
Yeah.
So apparently it's big.
4% a year is typical, and so we're going up 3% a month.
Yeah, that's huge. Oh my goodness.
So are we live already?
Yeah.
Okay, you got us live over there too? All right.
Well, you guys, good morning, Facebook. I'm Veronica Nicholson. I'm with New Beginnings Insurance Group. And I was just sitting here talking to Britton Cook, and we were talking about the hope. What is it again?
Hope brings you home.
Hope brings you home. So he's going to elaborate more about that as we go on through the show. But I just want to let you guys know, as usual, we're going to talk about auto insurance, home, and definitely life insurance. I need you guys to remember, if you need help, if you need a quote, a free quote, or insurance review, or anything like that, you can give me a call. My number is 702-625-7. Oh my gosh!
You forgot your number.
Yes, I did.
One of those times, right?
It's 702-625-8989. Again, 702-625-8989. We are located at 2300 West Sahara. And that is in the U.S. Bank Building on the 8th floor, across the street from the Palace Station. I got to take a drink real quick.
Yeah, that's common. You don't call yourself very often, so to forget your phone number makes sense.
Well, I mean, I say it every week, Friday. I just said it again Tuesday. So I just stumble. But anyways, you guys, Tuesday I was on 88.1. I was covering for Don Marquez this week while he was on vacation. And I just want to thank everyone who's out there and everyone who actually called in with testimonies, questions, or whatever the case may be. I want to give you kudos. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I know at the end, I wasn't able to finish the question that the caller from last week had, which was, what is the importance of having life insurance? If your employer offers life insurance,
absolutely.
Why do you have life insurance aside from that? So we were talking about it, and then I got a call, and basically I was saying that one reason is because the employers they're not required to have insurance or give you insurance. So if they're trying to cut back on expenses, of course that could be the number one. Group life insurance costs the employers, I'm sure it's not a whole lot of money, but they definitely can cut. It's a way to cut.
Sure.
So if they cut your life insurance policies, then you don't have anything aside from that, and something happens, then you have a problem. So that's one reason.
Can I touch on? Are you talking about life insurance right now?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
A personal story. I don't even think you know this. So as a business owner, she's absolutely right about the cutting cost. Cutting overheads as a business owner is something that we're always looking at. And so life insurance, the employees don't see value in it, not a lot of value, and so the employers don't see a lot of value in it. So one of the first things we cut when it comes to overheads is life insurance. My own personal story, I worked for a major corporation here in town for about 18 years. And once I left there, guess what else I lost?
You lost your benefits.
Right.
All of them.
So 18 years of paying into this life insurance policy, thinking that my family would be okay if something ever happened to me. The day I separated from that company, I no longer have this policy. And so it's always beneficial in my personal opinion, because you want to make sure your family's always protected.
Exactly.
And a lot of people we don't understand the value in it, because you know, when we're young, we walk around, we're never going to die, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're never going to die.
Right.
And there were, you know,
or we might die, but you know what? I'm going to get these shoes right now. I'll fix that later.
Right. That kind of reminds me of a joke. This man, he knew he was going to die, so he decided to go charge up his credit cards and said, I'm not going to have to pay him if I die, right?
Oh, wow.
But he never passed on the date that they expected for him. So he ended up with all this debt, right? That's what we do. We're out buying shoes and clothes and
TV.
You know, you're right.
Hair. Whatever else, right?
Whatever, right? Motorcycles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, what you mentioned was actually my second reason of why is because you don't have a policy once you leave that job. Rather you leave, rather they let you go, you don't have it.
Yes.
Now, the third thing is, I hear a lot of times, I hear people say, you can't take it with you. I hear a lot of agents say that. However, I know I experienced being able to take the life policy with me, but here's the challenge. Usually the group policies are term policies.
Yes.
When you leave the job, they offer you, they'll offer if you want to continue the policy, but they convert it. And they convert it from a term policy to a whole policy, a whole life. And when they do that, they usually take up to 90 days. So what happens is the rate's going to go up because it's going from term to whole. So it's going up, period. Then by the time they finish processing, it takes about 90 days. And they want you to go back to the first day you left, and they want you to pay the premium for that whole time.
If they want their money, right?
Yeah. So like if I'm usually paying $30 for $200,000 because that's typical for a group policy, and then they convert it to a whole life, and all of a sudden now I'm paying $230.
Yes, because it's individual and it's whole life.
Yes, yes. So now they want 90 days of $230. That's over $700. Right. Most people don't have it.
Right.
Most people don't have it unless you go from one job to another job that's offering at what you had at the old job and more.
Yes.
You usually don't have that money because you're in a transitional period. So you don't have it, and you usually just let it go.
Right.
So that's the third reason. And I don't even know if that's the bigger or not, because there are people out there it's like, no, I know they can convert, but it just costs money.
Sure.
It costs a lot of money.
Sure.
It costs a lot of money.
You know, I think part of it, we're going to talk about, I guess, a little bit about what I do. One of the things is a success coach. Mm-hmm. And with that said, you know, there's a financial plan in that. And I think what we need to do more often is look at what happens after us. Legacy building.
Exactly.
Right? And so, you know, we talk about insurance and this isn't important and I don't need it but it's not about you.
It's not about you.
It's not about you.
No.
The moment you bring those kids, the moment you get married.
The moment you get married.
The moment you bring those children into this world, it's no longer about you. And now it's about legacy building. And that's a statement I think we should start making more often. You hear people say, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to start my own business, I'm going to leave a legacy.
Yeah, I'm going to leave a legacy,
right.
And then they can do what they need to do or continue that legacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. You guys, let me go ahead and officially introduce this man here. This is Britton Cook. He's the CEO and founder of Britton Cook Enterprises, and he's a good friend of mine. He's, brother and sister. We're really close, and so I think this segment is a little bit different because we do have that rapport and that close connection. So of course we're talking a little different. But I'm going to go ahead and I wanted to introduce you so we don't get too far out and they don't know who you are.
They have no idea, right?
And they're
Good
trying
morning.
to figure you out. So,
right.
Since we're talking, I'm going to go ahead and give it to you, and you can kind of explain and talk about Britton Enterprises.
Okay.
What it is that you do.
Thank you. Thank you. As Veronica said, we're brothers and sisters, and I appreciate you coming here. For some reason, I didn't ever think about going on Facebook Live. But,
I don't know. How could I be smarter than you?
I guess I work so much. I don't think I let somebody else do the marketing.
K for King.
If you want to know what the K stands for, it stands for King. So
the peasant
feel free.
came up with the idea that the king didn't.
Okay. See, this is what I get. This is what I get on a regular basis.
Yeah, I can do this big help.
This is what I get. Britton Enterprises. That is the company that I created. And under that umbrella is real estate, Britton Cook or Team KBC, public speaking, do public speaking, motivational speaking, inspiration, believe in inspiration, not motivation. And in addition to that, there's the mentoring and life coaching. Real quickly, mentoring would be, assisting a person to achieve their goals, just helping them along in their life in addition to the things that they want to achieve. Life coaching, the difference, just so, because people always ask, what's the difference? Life coaching is just that, looking at the person's life. You may want to work on finances or your resume or so on. But what about the rest of it? We talked about the legacy. We talked about the kids. We talked about the spouse. Those things are integral parts in a person's life. But a lot of times we don't focus on it.
That makes sense.
We're looking at the money. And so the whole person has to be whole. And so in the life coaching program, I'm looking at the whole person and helping you move the entire level of your life up to the next level.
So can you do me a favor, because I think this is probably our first time really. I mean, as much as we talk and we joke and we clown, this is my first time really like getting in depth with that. So can you tell me how that works as far as like you know, how do you find a person? The person come to you? How does all this work? This life coaching?
I think when it comes to life coaching, it's important, and mentoring, that I don't identify the people, that they identify what they need, and they identify with something they see in me that they hope to gain or some knowledge. And usually it starts in the form of a question. Can you help me out with my business? Can you help me out with whatever that path may be? And it begins with that conversation, but that conversation sparks me to ask questions about the whole person. Okay. And then they begin to see that their life will improve based on looking at everything and not just one piece that they thought they needed to work on.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you, it's just a smidgen of personal, just a smidgen. Sure. So Yusuf, the guy Yusuf. Yes. He's your mentor, not your life coach.
Correct.
So then tell me the difference as how, I mean, you probably say, I don't need any coaching. No.
Well, so let's start with that, because that's a very good question. So my mentor, and truthfully life coach, because it began just like I'm talking about. I went to him to talk about business, and it became about me. And he looked at me, the person, and said, let's work on some things with you. And as I began to open my mind to all of me, and not just the financial me or the business me or what I wanted the public to see, I, as a person, became a better person. So he really is my life coach. It began as a mentorship. Okay. And then that thing, Yusuf Suda is his name, and he calls himself a goldsmith.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a unique word. And what that means is that he's a specialist in helping you achieve your goals. And I stick with the life coach identity because I'm concerned about the whole person. Yeah. Families are imperative to me. We're at my office now with one of my other companies, and it's all about mentoring youth, at-risk youth, and families that are struggling. So families are important. Then the real estate portion to help those families get into the homes, right? Insurance, so that they can help build the legacy, because it's about the foundation. Get the house, get the insurance, get the income, so those are things we talk about in life coaching. Mentoring would be just me talking about that specific thing that you want to do. I want to be a fireman, and I've been struggling on passing the test. So then we'll get into, you need to work out, you need to eat better.
Gotcha.
You need to improve your math skills, so it's very specific when it comes to mentoring.
So then here's another question for you, because I like to dig deep. So you got mentoring and you have life coaching. What do you use more with the the graduate house with your clients? Is it mentoring or life coaching? Just the basics, like if someone's...
That's good. So to actually implement a life coaching program in someone's life, they have to be willing. And so at the graduate house, we're reaching out to the community and trying to assist families, and some families don't know they need help. Some families point, she's the problem. Yeah. If you can fix her out, we will be happy, right?
I think we all do that.
Right.
We all do.
So in the mentoring at the graduate house, what we're doing is trying to just open that line of reasoning, and nothing happens outside yourself. Everything that happens to you
is someone else's
Right.
Well, yeah.
So we got to shift that reality, you know, and just take responsibility for the things that happen. So at the Graduate House, we mentor you, we help you just come up a level. I call it that. Let's say it that way.
Okay.
And then once you realize that you want some more assistance in different areas of life, and what happens is by hanging around these people, the staff, you see some things in the staff, you see some things in the people around you, and you say,
I want to be this.
Yes, I want some of that. You know,
Yeah,
and that's
gotcha. Okay, that's really good. So how would you implement, or have you guys tried to implement, like financial literacy, insurance, different life insurance? Have you guys tried? And if not, how would you? Or if you have, what are some of the steps? Like, how can I be a part of this? Is what I'm asking.
That's a very good question. You see me pause. That's a big pause. What has to happen in our community is that we have to suspend our beliefs just long enough to consider something else, just for a second, right?
Yeah.
Because we have ideas. We want the house. We want the car. We want, and so we have this idea of what we want our life to be like. And truthfully, we just need to look at the bigger picture, because, like we said, once you get married, once you bring the kids into your life shifts. And so now we have to start talking about legacy building. We have to start talking about wealth accumulation. We have to start talking about businesses and things like that. And not that I'm saying that everyone has to be a business owner, but everyone can do something to invest in their future and the future of their future generations. And that's the goal, just start having that dialogue first. And so with that said, financial literacy is imperative. You know, and in financial literacy is insurance. It's life insurance, it's health insurance, it's
long-term care.
It's amazing how many people go bankrupt because of medical bills.
Man, yes.
Medical bills. Out of business, checked out of life because I can't pay for the accident that I just had. You know, and then you got, you know, God forbid that somebody passes, of the breadwinner and the family passes, and you don't have life insurance. And, you know, again, we just have to look at these things not in a state of fear, not in a state of, the sky is falling, but in the sense of preparing for the future generations, preparing for tomorrow, and just asking yourself the question, what if? What if that did happen? Would I want to leave my wife and children alone with nothing?
With nothing.
You know.
So just really quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you give your contact information.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go ahead and give mine again. And then we're going to go into insurance experience that you've had.
Sure.
And then we'll go back, because I really want to talk more, want them to hear more about, you know, the different things that you have going on.
Okay.
So go ahead and give your information. I'll give mine, and we'll go from there.
Again, it's K. Britton Cook. That's the name. The K is silent, or if you want to put King in there, that's fine. My company is Britton Enterprises, but the real estate team is Team KBC at BrittonCook.com, or at KBrittonCook.com, I'm sorry. Phone number 702-502-0647. Again, that's 702-502-0647. Team KBC at KBrittonCook.com. You can email me, find me there, and the website is Team KBC.
Okay, you guys, and again, I'm Veronica Nicholson, New Beginnings Insurance Group. I am at 2300 West Sahara in the U.S. Bank building across from the Palace Station on the 8th floor. If you give me a call, 702-625-8989. Again, 702-625-8989. If you have those insurance questions, if you want a review of your life insurance policy, please give me a call. I was just talking to some people yesterday, and the lady thought that she had a certain type of policy, and I told her, you know what, I really need to review that so we can make sure. So please give me a call, 702-625-8989. And now we're going to go back into talking to Britton. I want to talk to you about insurance experience that you have with your auto.
Okay.
So, of course, before I broke off and became an insurance broker, you were over there with me at Allstate.
Yes.
And we pounded them. We pounded them hard. Why do you have this car with only liability? Nice car, right? What year?
I don't remember.
I'm putting them on the spot, you guys. It's happening.
Let me just tell the story so we can move past this.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let you tell the story, because, you know, I was a little disappointed when I heard it.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to let him tell his story.
So I own a Cadillac. So it's a nice Cadillac. I don't put a lot of energy into material things, but it's a nice Cadillac.
It's a nice car.
And my insurance agent wisely suggested that I get full coverage instead of liability. Now, I don't believe in debt, so the car was paid off. So I figured if there was an accident, I could pay for it, right? No big deal. So and I'm not going to get in an accident. I drive.
Not at all.
I drive well.
He's the king.
I'm the best driver. They gave me, the king came from my driving abilities. When I was at the DMV, they said, "Sir, you drive so well, we're going to give you the title of king," right?
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
So they hound me. There are no accidents, right? There are no accidents. Everything happens for a reason. When I say accidents, I don't mean car accidents. I mean accidents in life. So your assistant called me, and she pressed me and said, "I don't understand why you have liability. I just really think that you should get full coverage." And I had this long explanation as to why I didn't want full coverage. Because I'm smart like that, right? The very next day, maybe 2 days later, I'm sitting at the traffic light. Traffic starts moving. I start moving. Unfortunately, the car in front of me didn't start moving.
The car in front, because I never got the whole story.
I wasn't texting and driving. That's not what happened.
But the car in front of you didn't stop moving. Okay.
Yeah, the car, I don't know what his problem was. I guess red wasn't the appropriate color for him. So I moved, car didn't move. Unfortunately, when you have a moving vehicle meeting a stationary vehicle, it's not a very warm welcome, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
did a lot of damage.
Did a lot of damage to the front end of my car, the grill, the radiator. $6,000 later.
$6,000.
$6,000 later. Here's the hard part about it. I called the insurance company afterwards and said, "What's the difference between full coverage and liability?" What was the difference?
Collision and comp.
Yes.
Well, I mean, of course, people say full coverage now, but as far as lien holders are concerned, collision and comp added onto the liability would be full coverage. And, and the collision would have paid for everything. You running into what didn't stop.
The difference in monthly payment was about $28. $28 cost me $66,000. So thinking that I was smarter than the system, that $28 would have saved me about after the deductible $5,500. So
yeah,
it was a lesson.
Yeah, definitely. And you have it now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he has it. He has it now, you guys.
On the motorcycle, on the car, on the second vehicle. Yes. All and homeowners, renters, additional.
Yeah.
You name it, I got it.
Right? He has it. Yeah, he has it. So I mean, basically, you with you telling your story, you're basically telling people that
life is real. It's not about the sales pitch. And this is my sister, and she's encouraging me to make a better decision. And of course, I'm hearing money, and the money was so little. The money had nothing to do with it. $28. I mean, a weekend we spend that, right? And so you were really trying to encourage me to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, again, that's why we're here, for brothers and sisters, life coaches, mentors, friends, family. Just talking to each other and encouraging each other to do better things. But I learned the hard way.
No, you did. And it's funny because I think even before she called you, probably a few weeks prior to that, maybe a month, we're doing our recreational thing, and I remember getting in the car and you were parked next to me, and I let the window down. I was like, "What? This is the car? You don't have insurance on this car?" And he was like, "Yeah, I don't need it. I just don't need it." So a lot of times, you guys, you think that because we're an agent and we're trying to sell and make commission, that we're not looking out for your best interest. But I will say there are people out there. There's agents out there. They're not looking out for your best interest. But I did not get in the insurance industry to not look out for people's best interest. So I've had experiences. I've been in a few accidents. I know what it takes to come out the pocket and repair damages, deductibles, medical. I know that. So, just if you're out there and you're contemplating if you need full coverage, or if you need comp and collision, or why do I need it, or nothing can happen, I'm here to tell you that anything can happen. And I'm also here to tell you that I can help you. 702-625-8989. 702-625-8989. So do you want to go back and talking some more about some of your
I do, but I got my son on my Facebook, my grandson, and he's playing with the camera. So if it's making you dizzy, guys, I'm sorry. Can you please just leave the camera straight? No,
don't worry, you would have been tagged in this. It's fine. If it's a bad one,
no, because
it's okay.
my people will tell me. They'll call and tell me, "Why are you moving so much? You should have. Why were you sitting?" You know, they're gonna...
Look, he's mad. He's like, "Quick, cut it out, Paul, cut it out." Look. So, okay, so go back to finish saying what you were saying and leave little boy alone.
I want to say something about you because you probably can't say this about yourself. You ready for
probably
this?
Can, but go ahead.
You ready for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, I have a couple of vehicles and motorcycle, and as I got my insurance with V, one of the things I noticed that she immediately, she kind of knew the value, the premiums, whatever that was. She automatically knew, here I can't do that. I need you to go over here. I need you to do this. And she took care of, all my policies, but she made very clear decisions that benefited me financially, obviously. And then when she moved the agency, I didn't understand why. And she actually said to me, because I can't, let me put it this way, I'm not sure what you can say about the old company, so I'm going to put you in hot water there. She did it for her clients because she wanted to offer better products, better pricing, and she couldn't do it where she was. And so she shifted for the benefit of her clients. And when she said that to me, not that I didn't know already, so I trust her already, but that was huge. That was huge that was a big name that you
it was a big name. It was. And I appreciate you saying that because it was a big name. And there is differences being a captive agent and being a broker. But as I told everyone before, being a broker, although the commission may not be as hefty, is I have the autonomy to do what I need to do for my people. Right. If I want to take forever to figure out what I have to do to shop with several carriers, I can. I don't have to worry about, I can't do this because they said I can't send this out or whatever the case may be. So it's very helpful. I lost a lot of business. I think I lost a lot of people's backing because their thought was, oh no, they cost too much.
Yes.
So carriers go up, and at this point, there's other carriers out there that's taking rate increases just like that one was. So it plays a part on the rates at that time, depending on who's going to take a rate increase.
Absolutely.
But I did do that for the customers. I did it for the customers. I did it for my community. Being a black insurance agent, a black insurance broker, and a female, I don't want to say I have to fight harder because I don't necessarily feel I have to fight harder, but I have to prove a point to my community. I have to show that I have their back.
Yes. And
if you don't show you have their back in certain industries, it could make them, sway somewhere else and say, I don't even want to support them.
Sure.
So, I have noticed more support. I have noticed more people reaching out since I've been gone. Some people still don't know I'm gone, although I posted on Facebook. Some people don't. But I think just being on all the time on my live, my social media postings, different things like that, people are watching. They're watching in the background. They're not saying anything, but I get phone calls. I be like, oh, wow.
Right.
I didn't even think you cared.
That's good.
Yeah, so I appreciate that.
And they're listening, and it takes time because it is a shift in our reality. And as we talk about finances, we talk about real estate, insurance. There's a lot of families pinching pennies, and I get it. But all I can say is, call us. You won't be pinching pennies forever, right?
Yeah. No, you're right.
That is our purpose. To assist and raise our level financially, spiritually, health, all matters. So, you mentioned what we're going to talk about. Real estate. I'm sorry.
Whatever you like. We were talking about. We were going into your clients and how you use mentorship versus life coaching.
Okay.
So I didn't know if you wanted to kind of speak on, just put. I have you here. You can showcase what you have. So my purpose, because I don't think I told you, my purpose of my Facebook Live, so a lot of people know, is to actually share the opportunity to showcase what it is that you're doing as a small business owner. For free for the community. You're not out there. You don't have to pay people. Like you said, you never thought about live.
Right.
You're live.
Right.
If you start doing live, it's gonna boost people's awareness about what it is that you do. So I know you have Britton Enterprises, but within Britton Enterprises, you have at least 3 or 4 things going on. So I wanted you just to touch on them a little bit so people know.
Well, with that suggestion, now that I know I can talk more, I just like to talk.
Because you know what? On 88.1, when I had Kenyatta, she called in, and I told her to talk about the summer program. She said she got 2 phone calls.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I didn't even think about talking about the summer program.
Yeah.
So,
where are you at? Where's the king at?
I did. Listen, I have a wonderful team. I have a wonderful team.
You want to keep going? Okay.
So, Graduate House. Graduate House is a mentorship program. Again, we help at-risk families. We're building a community, one family at a time. Basically, that is our model. And this summer, we have a summer camp. We created a program, Graduate Kids. And so it is kids 4 to 10 years old, summer camp. And that's probably the noise you hear in the background. And so Kenyatta called you on last Friday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So that was the what you were mentioning. So the camp is going full blown all summer long. Wonderful program. The kids are having a blast out there. Tremendous amount of activities, some education, a lot of fun. We will be going throughout the summer. So if you have not had a chance to sign your kids up for a summer camp, give us a call. That number is 702-800-1926. Again, 702-800-1926. That is the Graduate Kids program. That's one side of my life.
They're very affordable too, you guys, okay? And they feed the kids breakfast and lunch. A lot of summer programs do not include breakfast or lunch. So, do give them a call if you still need some assistance with your children for the summer.
Thank you. So okay. I spend a lot of time there in that office. And then Britton Enterprises, where the real estate is, obviously real estate is all the time. In fact, I wanted to, let's shift because the mentoring, life coaching we talked about a bit, but there is a program out there, Veronica, that's called Hope Brings You Home.
Yes, I want you to talk about that.
Okay, so you've heard about a lot of down payment assistance programs, and they exist. There's 3 of them that I'm aware of. Well, Hope Brings You Home is such a unique program. Most down payment assistance programs, you have to come to the table with some money. The seller has to contribute some of the monies. So to get you to zero down, there's a few things you have to do. The interest rate is a little bit higher. So everybody's putting into the pot so that you can realize a 0% down program. Hope Brings You Home, the interest rate automatically is less than the traditional FHA and conventional rates.
Okay.
So, for example, today's rate was 4.5 on the FHA. And so in addition, max loan amount, we can get you a house up to $400,000 with 0 money out of pocket. No contribution from the seller, no additional funds. So it's a true 0 down program. And I mentioned the no contribution for the seller. So in today's market, it's the seller's market. The sellers are setting the prices. And so if I submit an offer and I need the seller to contribute $3,000 to the closing costs, and you submit an offer of that same home, and you're not asking them to pay anything, you're going to get the house every time.
Exactly.
And so that's kind of one of the challenges with the down payment assistance program is that other people were beating the buyers out. So this program is it's amazing. There's enough money for about 1,800 families this year. It does run out. It's a grant program, but again, we think we're going to be able to help about 1,800 homes.
That's a lot of homes.
Yes, it's a lot of homes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So come get yours. If you only need one, you got 1,800 of them, right?
Yeah.
And so, but it's a true dollar 0 down program. And again, Hope Brings You Home. Give me a call, 702-502-0647, and I will walk you through that program.
So I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna probably wrap it up. But I want to say that since you're talking about real estate with life insurance, a lot of people don't fully understand when to get term and when to get whole life. So one of the things that they can look at is if they have children under the age of 18, they're married, and they're buying a home, to get a term policy specifically to protect those 3 is the best thing.
Yes.
Not saying that you don't have a UL or a whole life, because if it was me, I'd have at least 2. I'd have the term and one of the 2. But the thing is, the term policy you can get more for less money.
Yes.
The whole policy in the UL you can accumulate accumulate money on that policy, and that policy will last you usually past the age of 90. And so that's the policy that you want for your burial. That's the policy you want, for your funeral, for those who, may not, for your funeral or your burial. The term policy is truly the policy that you need if you have that child under 18, that husband or that wife, and you have a mortgage on the home. You want to be able to, whoever's going to keep your child after you pass away, whether it's a spouse or a family member, you want them to be able to take care of them comfortably.
Right.
You want your spouse, if they're used to a certain income, you want them to be able to still be able to live comfortably after you pass away. And you also want for that mortgage, to pay that mortgage off if you have a spouse. I mean, some people don't. Honestly, they don't pay it off. Whatever you choose to do, you want to be able to have that. You want to be able to leave that kind of money for your family members. So that's what that term is for, and that whole life is could be used for the burial. So you could have both. You could stack them and have both. Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there.
No, that's good. And so when we talk about the life coaching and the financial literacy part of it, some of the dialogue is it's better to have something than nothing. Mm-hmm. And so the term life is that something. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so you want to protect yourself for tomorrow. And yes, the goal is to build massive wealth. You want to accumulate wealth, right? But it takes time. It takes time to build a business. It takes time to get that perfect job, graduate college, all of those things, right?
Yes.
And so what's protecting you during that growth period, right? And so the term life is exactly that thing to protect you in the event that anything happens, that you and your family will be okay. And so once you accumulate your wealth, call me, we'll work on that. Once you accumulate the wealth, then the whole life is perfect. Mm-hmm. Then we get you into investments. We get you, first of all, emergency savings, right?
Exactly.
Regular savings.
Retirement.
Investment account. And so we start looking at those things, real estate portfolio, things like that, and accumulating wealth. It's not difficult. It's just steps, right? But the first step is to protect yourself today, term life. Because you can have all these big, wonderful plans, big ideas, and they will come to fruition if you put enough energy towards them. But
in the meantime,
right?
In the meantime, you're gonna wait 30 years to get the better of what people consider the better policy, and we can't necessarily say it's the better.
Right.
It's better at what time in your life.
That's perfect.
That's what that
well
is.
Said.
That's
said.
What that
Depending
is.
on what time of your life, and what time of your life, the sooner you get it, the better, because it's cheaper when you're younger, and but it's never too late. So get it as soon as possible, right?
Okay. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. I really enjoyed this segment with my king brother, K. Britton Cook, Britton Enterprise CEO and founder.
Yes.
I'm Veronica Nicholson, again, New Beginnings Insurance Group. My number is 702-625. I did it again. 702-625-8989. 702-625-8989. Give me a call. Let's set up an appointment. I'm located at 2300 West Sahara in the U.S. Bank Building on the 8th floor. And we will see you next Friday.
Wait, before you go, hey, I got to close out.
Oh, my gosh. She's taking over.
She didn't even know. We're going to start our new show. So I like this energy, right? We can talk about things in our community, right? We can talk about wealth accumulation, legacy building. I have a story.
Something to think about.
Yeah, I got to tell you a story about my kids. Like, we don't have time today, but my kids are awesome. They're wonderful, and so there's a million stories, things that I say to them that they repeat to me that you wouldn't believe they would be listening to. So I only say that. Tune in next week. You'll get the rest of the story. But I'm only saying that to say, if I could teach these kids those things, right? It's not difficult. It's not difficult. To create your legacy, to build your legacy, to accumulate wealth. It's not difficult. Just need a plan. Someone to help inspire you to continue, because we all get tough times happen, right? You need somebody to help push you through. But tune in next week. Wait for the Veronica and King show, or the King Veronica show. Hey, send us a name. Tell us what you want us to call it. Send us some topics to talk about. We got you.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.